Thank you everyone for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. Whether you be a fan of mine since the very beginning or you came along more recently, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is my Q&A for you guys. So the first question here is from Den Studios, and he asks, "Hey man, congratulations on hitting 1,000 subscribers. My question is, what got you started on YouTube? What convinced you it was worth starting a YouTube channel?" Good question. It's pretty fucking simple. I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel ever since I was at least a teenager because I was always someone that just spoke my mind and said whatever the hell I want. Basically, I was a pretty entertaining guy. I made people laugh over the years of my outrageous jokes and just saying really offensive things. And I feel like YouTube is a place that, you can express yourself that. That's why it's called YouTube, broadcast yourself, all that good shit. And I eventually figured it out really by just trial and error, really. That's all it really takes to become a good YouTuber. Next question is from Conservatives Against Just Gooby. Base name, by the way. He asks, thoughts on Sonic 3? The movie looks really awesome. I am not spoiling myself because I will see the movie hopefully soon when I get some money. It's pretty hard to get money these days because, the economy sucks and the government's ass. I can go on a whole rant about that stuff, but yeah, the movie looks awesome. I have not seen it yet. I'm not spoiled myself because I do not want to be spoiled of its greatness. Just the fact you have Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog is just a match made in heaven for me. From Nivik was taken. I'm happy for you, bro. Congratulations on reaching 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. My question, what is your favorite video you've done? Ooh, this is a really good question because there's many videos I'm very much proud of. In fact, I'm pretty much happy with all my videos I've released. Some I like more than others, admittedly, but there's a few videos I'm just so proud of that I am so grateful that I've made, and I would gladly do the process all over again. Those being, of course, like my woke has no meaning video, my cuckold rant, just simple basic videos, but I just like how I've just presented myself in the arguments. I just thought I did a really good job. But if I had to choose one video that I'm so proud of that is super underrated, it is my content barrel on Sneeko. That video was just my first foray into longer content, and I was just super proud of it. Some other videos I really love, like the Content Barrel and Technical Work Rate Productions and my wrestling channel, but that Sneeko Barrel was just so fun to make. I even remember during the process of that video, I was halfway done, and then my editing just crashed out on me, and I had to restart all over again, which took 2 extra weeks of time, which sucked. But in the end, it was worth it because the video was just so well done. So there answers your question. From Spinach Grindier, lol. Any thoughts of trying out fan projects that's probably well made for when it be released? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm assuming you mean fan made projects for games that already existed or something, like mods or something. If that's the case, I've already tried out some mods for Fallout 4. They're cool for what they are, like this mod called Sims Elements 2. It's a pretty good mod. Too bad my Xbox crashes a lot for that mod, but hey, that's just fucking how it is. I've also would like to try out stuff like Project Sonic 06, which is a fan-made game, basically, of the original Sonic the Hedgehog from 2006, which was garbage. But the actual Project 06 itself looks pretty cool. I don't know what you mean by that, but hopefully this answers your question. From Christian Ferratas, thoughts about James Gunn versus Zack Snyder. I didn't realize these guys were beefing. We need to sell this in a celebrity boxing match or a wrestling match there, brother. We gotta get these two in the ring so they can beat the crap out of each other for our entertainment. That's my answer. VTech asks, go subscribe to him by the way. What is your thoughts on Justin Trudeau stepping down? On the one hand, I'm happy that he stepped down, but at the same time, he chose the wrong fucking time to do it. This guy should have stepped down at least a few months beforehand. Holy fucking shit. You have Donald Trump with his tariffs coming on the way. If it wasn't for Alberta's premier pretty much saving our asses for another 2 weeks or so, we would have been fucked up the ass. So great job, Trudeau. And it doesn't really matter who replaces him. It doesn't matter if it's that Indian guy who can't speak French for shit, or if that fucking banker ass fucking globalist piece of crap, Mark Carney or the fuck his name is, it's still gonna be garbage, and that fucking nerdy cuck Pierre Poilievre's just gonna win the election. So either way, I'm not happy because Canadian politics is just generally a fucking joke, and Trudeau only really stepped down just so he doesn't have to take an L to someone he knows he can't beat. From Infinite V11 asks, what are your thoughts on the Elon Musk and Donald Trump drama? I think you're talking about like the whole visa situation that's going on, considering like Trump was like, oh, look, I'm very anti-visa, but then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm pro visa for like, the immigrants from like coming to places like India or some shit. I think that's what you're talking about. I do think it's hypocritical from Donald Trump's front. I mean, I'm not really surprised. This man tends to over exaggerate the shit that he says and does. Look at his first term. He said a lot of like outlandish shit, but it turns out he didn't do what exactly he said. It's kind of like a nothing burger drama because when it comes to like people on the right, this is what I can give them credit for. They tend to do a much better job of uniting about their differences than the left does, which is like a huge reason why Trump is even like back into office. Because why else do you have people like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. in his cabinet? It does show a coalition of unity between the two, so this is really not going to be much of a big deal. They'll work together on things that will probably like benefit the country in their minds and like their voter base, basically. From Cinnamon Toms, why do the voices in my head talk about Scooby-Doo figurines? Maybe it's because they're singing along to that like early 2000s Scooby-Doo theme song from that crappy Canadian band Simple Plan. I don't know, or just the fact that Scooby-Doo's theme song is just generally a banger. That's all I can say, bro. Chris Miles Chong asks, any words of inspiration for those who want to make YouTube videos? Guys, if you want to make YouTube videos, you need to have a couple of these things. Number one, an idea. What do you want to talk about? What is something that you're really passionate about? Because if you're just going to talk about like random things that you're not too passionate about, you're going to lose interest and not bother it. That's why most people fail on YouTube after like a long period of time. They just get stuck doing like the same shit they don't give a fuck about. There's a reason why I'm doing commentary videos because for myself, I used to do wrestling content, but I got sick of doing that stuff. And even when I tried to do other types of content, no one watched. So I was like, well, fuck this. So I might as well do something I'm really passionate about, and that is commentary. You gotta really find topics and interests that you really care about. You want to just put your time and effort into. And that's another thing. You gotta really put the time in because being a YouTuber is not fucking easy. It's not as hard as say doing like fast food work, but it is a fucking like difficult job to do because you don't know if your video is gonna blow up or not. You just gotta keep working and working. Hopefully, one of your videos like blows up and you can start making money from that. So here you go. Prince of the Ring asks, "What is your dream scenario in life in general?" Interesting question. Live in like a relatively big house with like a future wife who I find really attractive that we just get along so greatly. We both have like the same taste in music, like the metal and punk rock. We both like gaming, fitness, like you name it, just similar interests to mine. We have like a couple of kids at least like plus or some shit. Like we live like a happy life. We go to church, you name it. Like that would just be like the best life possible. I would just not complain about that. I would take that 10 times every day. There's nothing that you can just change my mind about that one. Jim99 asks 9 questions, good lord, but let's get into them. So the first question he asks, if you could be a wrestler, what would you be like? Probably most likely just a sarcastic dickhead with like a lot of like, nihilism, like, oh great, this is so lovely, like that type of tone and sarcasm like I do in my videos sometimes and shit. Or I'd probably just be sort of like someone who just stands up to injustice and just beats up whoever I want, basically. That's probably the type of wrestler I'd be, one of those two things. Second question, if you met Captain Alex in real life, what would you do? Probably say hi, probably try to talk to him, maybe like ask him some like questions, especially with some stuff that, I'll save for my content barrel. Don't want to get into detail, but yeah, probably ask him stuff like that. Third question, top 5 bands or artists. Oh god, this I really need to think about this a lot because this is not like albums where I can just kind of like pick whatever. But if I had to choose 5 bands that I just really like listening to, like no matter what, I mean, like first of all, my 2 favorite bands is like Bad Religion's number 1, Killswitch Engage is number 2. Like that's kind of like de facto, like nothing's gonna change about that. For the other 3, probably something like Exodus, Avenged Sevenfold, and honestly, just fuck it, Descendants. Like probably something like that, because I'm a big metal and punk rock fan. That's kind of like the type of shit I always like listening to. If there's a local idiot you remember that nobody else knows, Not really. I don't really like get into that locale culture until like more recently. So yeah, top five favorite movies. Not really the biggest movie guy. I'll just tell you my favorite movie of all time is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Love that movie. Sixth question. What do you think is the deadest community here on YouTube? Easy, the wrestling community. Holy fucking shit. There's a reason why I left that shit for a good reason. I've never seen something more dead than like goddamn wrestling fans. Top five favorite video games. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna save that one for my gaming zone channel, by the way, so be on the lookout for that. If you got a working time machine, what would you do? Kill communism! Ninth question. What would you do if you were God? See, this is a great question. I can make a whole video about that. But if I had to like think of one thing, I basically would just destroy the Illuminati or something like that. Probably just be king of the world. I can just go on and on. That's a fucking something I can think of for like hours, for real. From Polo Man, if you had to move back to Quebec to earn 500k, would you take the offer?
Nope.
From Justin HD, which Sonic movie do you think is the best one? One, two, or three? I've not seen the third one, as I said earlier. I wish I can see it. This answer might change after I've seen the third movie, but I have to say the second one, just from my memory, I haven't seen like both those movies in like a while, but like from what I remember seeing, I liked the second one a lot more. I just felt like it was a lot more action packed. You know, having Knuckles being there is a huge plus, and Tails, so it felt more like a Sonic movie. And of course, having like Dr. Robotnik, like when he was using the Death Egg or like stomping around to Pantera's walk, was just peak in my opinion. I just love that. It felt like they actually were willing to take more risk and just like stay true to the Sonic lore rather than like the first one, which was good, but it felt more like, oh, this is a Sonic movie. Let's try not to screw it up. Like you can just kind of tell. That's what I have to say. Black Saiyan King asks, "Congrats on reaching 1K, bro. Thank you. Hopefully you give me a future shout out." Here's your future shout out. Go subscribe to Black Saiyan King. He makes interesting content and has like some interesting opinions and clips. There you go, buddy. From Lord Triton, what's your opinion on the people still in the American First movement, aka like that's the Nick Fuentes movement? If you didn't know, I feel like these people are just too far gone. There's a decent chance it might be a pedophile. Like they're really weird. They're like, why would you want to associate with like Nick Fuentes and our Lord 2025? For crying out loud, this is the same guy that said like your body, my choice, and who said like having sex with women is gay. This dude is a fucking loser. I don't know why anyone wants to associate with him. Like, bro, you're just asking for it. Royce Turner asks, what is a music artist that you cannot stand? There's a couple artists I can think of the top man, but I've had to choose one guy that I just always have hated, that I never liked. It's Drake. Like, I fucking hate Drake. I don't know how motherfuckers listen to this guy. He sounds so feminine. He uses like a shit ton of autotune. He's so whiny. His like songs are lame and cringe. Like it's bad enough like Taylor Swift exists, but at least with her, there was a point that I didn't outright hate her and shit. Drake has always just been fucking mad, corny, and stupid. Like you used to call me on your cell phone. I just feel like he makes songs for like bitches. Like that's what I always feel like. Like fuck Drake generally. From Darren, favorite video games. Well, as I said before, go subscribe to my Gaming Zone channel if you want to see that video at some point when I release it. But I will give you this for free. Left 4 Dead 2, like the game you're seeing right now. I love this game a lot. It's awesome. I'm not going to say which number it's going to be on in that list, but yeah, like it will be on the video for sure. From AJ, go subscribe to him, by the way. He makes great content. Can you say the N-word? We are on the last question, and it comes from Thornmaster. He asked me 3 questions. First one, what is the worst film you've ever seen in your entire life? I don't really have one, but if I had to pick one, it'd just probably be Star Wars, because I just fucking hate Star Wars and its culture and fans. It's just like some nerd shit to me. I've seen like a couple of movies and I've been like, bro, this fucking sucks ass, so fuck Star Wars. Second question, what kind of music do you listen to motivate you for, say, a workout or a project? You know, that type of shit. If I had to say that, I don't really work out like with music on per se. I just don't. That's just kind of who I am, really. As for like when I work on my videos or something, like for projects, usually these days I just listen to like albums that from bands I'm just getting into now. Like for example, AFI, Children of Bodom, Pennywise. no effects, that type of shit. So there's some examples there. Last question. Who is a YouTuber, current or former, who has been most helpful to you as a creator while having a smaller sub count than you at this point? There's actually two people. I know they have similar sub counts to me, but like they've definitely helped me out a lot in terms of like making me a better YouTuber. AJ and of course VTech, these guys have helped me out with like little tips and stuff and just kind of helped me overall in general. They've been like pretty helpful to me. So like that is that. Thank you guys for 1K. Thank you for all the great questions. This was a lot of fun to do. On the road to 2K. As for when I'll do another Q&A, not really sure. Maybe 2,000 subscribers to 5,000. I have no fucking idea. It all depends how I feel like. So yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed this Q&A. Take care, and of course, God bless you all.